up, everybody? Seth Marcus from the Mind Mill, Chip Baker.
I'm Chip Baker from The Real Dirt.
And we are here at the High West lot.
High West.
Getting ready for the Phish
High
shows
West
tonight.
Dispensary.
We got all sorts of booths out here, and we got some awesome guests coming in.
Weed booths.
Let's talk about it. We got Jim Bibiano. Say what's up, Jim.
Hey, guys. Good to be here.
Right on. Where are you from, Jim?
I'm from a few places, but Colorado the longest.
Nice.
I was born in South Africa. Was raised in Ohio. Colorado's home.
Do you have a South African accent you can give us?
I do not. I do not.
Come on.
Andy's Italian.
Yeah, Italian, South African accent.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a good mix.
And who are you with, Jim?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm the founder, CEO of Ascend Industries.
What do you guys do?
Yeah, we make premium cannabis oil.
Yeah, there we go. Premium cannabis oil for vape pens, cartridges, that type of stuff.
Yeah, we have a number of products on market. My personal favorites are high terpene extracts. That's for folks who like to dab or put in a nice vape pen like a Puffco, Smoking Dragon, something like that. And then, we have the cartridge game for the folks like on Phish Weekend that want to pick up a cart that's easy to go. And, what makes us a little different is our product's pure. It's all natural and completely solvent-free, 0 parts per million of any solvents anytime. It's potent, 6 or more activated cannabinoids, and it just really tastes good, and that's because it's terpene-rich.
So that means it gets you stoned.
Super stoned.
Super stoned.
No, it's it's a clean high. It's a great product. It's
And
made
tastes good.
responsibly, and we think people choose Ascend because of that.
Get you super stoned and taste good.
It's a good combo.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for joining us.
Right on. Who we got next? We got Adam Browse, High West Cannabis. Say what's up, man.
Hey, Seth. How you doing? Chip. Good to see you, man.
Thanks for having us, man. This is your place, dude.
Yeah, man. This is the spot. High West Cannabis has been around since January of 2017, and we are a cultivation and retail marijuana facility, so we do grow our own cannabis. We process with some fine people like Jim from Ascend Cannabis and some more guys that you'll hear from today to make some of the finest cannabis products that you can find in Denver, Colorado.
The world.
Yeah, and maybe the world, possibly. We definitely have had people coming from all over the world to visit us and check out our new spot and really live that High West lifestyle. So we are as much a lifestyle brand as we are a cultivator and a retailer, and we're happy to be here this weekend to serve the fine Phish fans and our family here.
I like that.
Preach,
High West
brother.
lifestyle.
Hell yeah. And also, just a big shout out to Adam. He's put this whole thing together. I
Whole
know he's
thing.
been busting his ass to put
We didn't
it
do
all
anything.
That's off.
Hey, thank you, guys.
That's off.
We just showed up. And
We showed up, plugged some mics in, and now
people
we're
with
doing this.
gloves and capes that put everything together for us. It was like a superhero convention. It's perfect.
Who we got next?
Hey, so what's up, guys? It's TK. I'm over at Harmony Extracts. So we are a hydrocarbon concentrate company here in Denver. Very, very proud of the stuff that we're putting out. Also, we have so much love here with our friends at Ascend and High West. We're also very focused on really showing off the terpenes that the cannabis plant produces on its own. So we've been in business a little bit over a year now. We're still pretty new to the market, but just really, really excited to be out there. We're all snobby dabbers ourselves, so we
Taking it by storm.
we won't.
The snobbiest.
So,
We won't, but yeah, I mean, just to sort of speak to the point that we won't launch anything out on the market that we wouldn't feel comfortable putting in our own bangers, and that extends to cleanliness, purity, to terpene richness, and of course to just high cannabinoid concentration in there. And we're actually very excited to be working with Adam and the guys over here at High West with Bart and his grow team there, just growing some really killer lemon glue, which we processed into our live nectar, which is kind of our pinnacle product, and just really, really delicious stuff. It's killer flower going in and came out as some killer concentrate as well. So yeah, kudos to the High West grow
Heck
team.
yeah, we love that stuff. And TK said it, Jim said it, I've said it. It really comes down to the passion for this plant and being able to grow the plant with the utmost integrity, because it all starts, it really goes from seed to sale. And so many hands touch this product on the way to getting to the consumer that it has to get love at every touch point. And we give it the love in our grow, like TK mentioned, our master grower Bart, who's amazing. We give it love when we send it to a producer like TK at Harmony or Jim over at Ascend. They give the plant love, and then we give it back when we give it to our customers. So it's really all about the love in the community here.
And the passion is palpable. It is. With everyone here, we are all here because we're very passionate people.
Why don't you introduce yourself, Trace?
And I'm Trace. I also
we
work
got
at
Trace.
Harmony.
Trace
Me and
with
TK.
Right on. You got anything to say about Harmony, or TK sum it up?
TK has been around since day one, and I couldn't say anything better than that.
Well, we always like interviewing people like you guys on The Real Dirt, because it's a farm to table, so to speak, style cannabis. There's not a grower, or you're not getting it from multiple sources. You guys grow it in-house. That means you see it all, and like you feel bad when it's not so good, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Instead of it just being like a widget, like so many pink shirts in the industry want to call it, right? It's a little bit more than a widget.
There's no widgetry here.
Yeah, you absolutely, I mean, you love what you sell and you sell what you love. And if you're disappointed in the work that you've done, you're going to be disappointed in the product you sell, and your customer is going to be disappointed with you. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, our brand, our quality is everything that we stand on.
And
Absolutely.
I think a commonality too, just with everyone for sure sitting on this bus, is that we really set extremely, extremely high standards for ourselves, right? It's almost exceeding of what people would expect, a rational person would expect.
It's because we put product first, right?
Exactly.
And we're all sitting here today because we have mutual admiration and respect for each other as people and as the companies that we all represent. And I think community and relationships is what is going to define this second generation of cannabis business and industry in Colorado. And I think us sitting here today, we represent that, and we represent what the future of this industry should look like in terms of just that, relationships.
This is our opportunity to make an industry our own.
Absolutely.
We're that age. We're that age now. Isn't that crazy? I mean, we're all part of that.
The pioneers.
We're creating our futures.
It's a heavy charge, I think.
It is a heavy charge.
It's making sure that we're doing the right things, that we're taking the time to make sure that everything that is going to be produced, it's going to have the Ascend label on there, it's going to have the Harmony label, the High West logo on there. It's a lot more than just an image in pixels.
You have to buy that here at High West.
Yeah, so all of the products that we're talking about today are here at High West Cannabis, located at 51st and Havana in Denver. It's the closest dispensary to Dick's Sporting Goods Park, which is something I know, Seth, we wanted to start talking about a little bit of the Phish stuff and what's going on this weekend, because I know...
definitely will talk about the Phish stuff.
I know a lot of us went to the show last night and had a great time, but we've been seeing friends and family from all over the world coming in for Phish this weekend at Dick's, and they've been coming into the dispensary to grab their stash to get their supply. And we are carrying, the finest products in Denver, and we have plenty of it for you guys. So it's located here at High West Cannabis. You can check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Weed Maps, pretty much anywhere. Just type in High West and you will find us.
And we not only are here with Ascend, Harmony, High West, but we got a lot of awesome people outside too.
So many vendors.
A lot of great vendors out here.
CSC.
We're on this great bus right now, high-end transportation, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Weed
Yeah, the Weed Streamer is high-end. These guys rock.
Yeah.
Great peeps.
And they're also running a shuttle right now to and from the lot. So if you guys are listening to this live or if you're checking it out, there is a shuttle to and from the lot that comes to the dispensary. So we're trying to make sure everyone's trip is short.
Get on the bus, take a dab, go back to lot. What's better than that?
We got you guys covered on this, man. Yeah.
Right on. Who else we got out there? We got Cannabis Maximus out there.
Ooh, yeah,
Yep.
those guys are awesome.
Absolutely.
Fine
Making that
concentrates.
fire.
Yeah. No, I think that's also, definitely, again, to hopefully your head can still fit in a hat, at this point. But Adam does such a killer job with procuring his vendors. It's, again, part of that commitment to just producing and delivering super high quality products. So, and again, kind of with the piggyback on what Jim was saying, the admiration and respect that we all have for each other within this community is really what I find sets it apart from any other industry that I've worked in the past. I come from the beverage industry is my background, and it's a neck and neck cutthroat business right there, and the amount of just collaboration of just people working together, of sharing products. Like I'm just trying to think if I would at the large beer company I worked at before, if somebody brought one of the competing large beer cans on, somebody might get their ass kicked, at that point. But here we are.
But you guys got everybody here.
Yeah, we're sitting together.
We got Green Dot Labs are here.
Oh, yeah.
Denver Dab Company's here. Stillwater Brands here. The Growing Kitchen.
Concentrate Supply Co. Colorado
Zoots
Cannabis
out
Co.
there.
Cincy Magazine.
Cincy.
We got a food truck here.
Yeah,
right?
Hangry Ohana food truck
Right,
supplying the Hawaiian barbecue.
Smells so good.
It's so
Drooling right
You
now.
gotta get those tots, man. The tots are wild.
Heads threads.
Don't put
Yeah,
the
they're-
tots in your pocket, though.
We got our I Heart Jane
Oh
guys.
yeah, if you just want to order your weed and roll up in here and get it and not stand in line, I Heart Jane. They're the people to talk to about that.
We just met their CEO just the other day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys got a lot full of people, so come down and come down, smoke out with us, and check out some of the vendors.
Right on. That's about a good place to take a quick breather. Maybe
Quick
spark
break.
up this joint.
All right, absolutely. This is the real dirt on the Phish lot.
And the
High West
Mindful
Cannabis, really.
I got to get incredible thanks out to Denver Normal. They're an organization that advocates for the rights of every marijuana consumer in the Mile High City, while also creating long-lasting partnerships with local businesses that share our value. Thanks, Denver Normal. It takes people like you to really make the change.
And we're back. This is The Real Dirt with Chip Baker and the Mindful Millennial.
We are on lot at High West Cannabis. We've got a roundtable discussion with some great peeps, and we're going to get right into our first topics. So we're here. It's obviously a very special weekend for all of us Coloradians. Is that how you say it?
Coloradans, I think.
Coloradans.
Colorado.
I think everybody calls themselves natives here.
That's what the sticker
Right.
says.
That's what the sticker says. Yeah.
So, I mean, the first place to start is what makes Phish in Colorado special?
Oh, I mean, if I can start, Phish has got deep roots in Colorado, and it's the second biggest market, I believe, in terms of ticket sales, only to New York. But it goes all the way back to the beginning. 1988, these guys got on a bus and drove out here without even a gig scheduled, and went down to Telluride, Crested Butte, booked some gigs, formed some relationships, and kept coming back to the state throughout the 80s and 90s.
That was where you could get a sack back in '88 was Telluride. So that's
my
obviously
God.
why they went there.
Exactly. Heady town for a heady band. But
It's like, we'll play for weed.
I mean, it's special, the relationship. It seems like a home away from home, and it brings people from all over the country to Colorado to celebrate the relationship that those two things have.
Yeah,
You
tags
can
from
tell
all
that
over.
it's evolved into that too. I mean, starting with the 1988, going into some of the best shows throughout the 90s were in Denver and are all around Colorado. And now, what is this, year 7 of Phish Dicks?
Yeah,
It
Year
is.
7.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you want to talk about a turning point for Phish in 3.0, you talk about Dick's 2012.
preach.
I mean, you talk about those shows and you talk about how they turned it around and really started to drive that 3.0. And one thing that I really like to mention and I like to think about when I listen to Phish and go to Phish with you guys, especially here at Dick's, is how interrelated those two communities are, right? It's all about the passion. It's all about the truth, the music, the helping friendly, like being there for each other. And it's the same in this cannabis industry as it is in this Phish community, which I think is what really makes Denver and Phish so special together.
We also, I have to admit, there are some non-Phish fans on the table.
Man,
And
hey, why you gotta segregate? That's like Charlottesville. That's like Charlottesville and shit, dude. We're all here together.
It's
Come
not
on.
for everyone, man. It really
Come on,
isn't.
bro.
it is not for everyone.
We don't want it
but
for everyone.
I want to say it because I want to know what the non-Phish fans feel about Phish being in Colorado.
I-
Because it's a good time no matter what. You can't deny it.
And I wouldn't say I'm a non-Phish fan. I would
be a
just
hater,
say that
TK.
I'm not.
I know,
No,
he's
I
like-
just
he's gotta
don't
walk out of
listen.
this.
I just don't listen
He's
to
gotta
them
walk
as
out of here.
much. I'm kind
There's
of
like
all
a
over
lot
the-
of people
I have
that
a
are
horrible
ganging
taste
up.
of
You are
music.
surrounded
I have
by
a horrible
shit.
taste of
They're
music.
starting to
I
be
admit
surrounded.
that.
Yeah.
But I mean, but generally, I mean, just that sense of community and everything that you see, along with any kind of band like this, that I think that goes hand in hand with the industry that we're in. But I'm gonna go to my colleague Trace here.
I've
I think he's more
seen a few
familiar.
Phish shows, but I've never been to Phish Dicks, and
All right.
hopefully I'll get a ticket for Sunday.
Never got fish dick.
There it is.
Yep.
I need a Sunday too, by the way.
Yeah, if you guys have Sundays, come on down to High West. Trace and Jim are looking.
All right, so Jim needs one dick. You need a dick?
Sunday dick.
I do.
Trace needs a
I need a
dick.
Sunday dick.
Okay.
We're all putting our audio fingers in the air right now for
Audio.
Sunday
I
tickets.
can raise it.
Awesome.
So come on down to High West.
So we've got a lot of cannabis people here today, and we want to talk a little bit about like what makes the cannabis in Colorado different from the rest of the world.
Well, we've heard that snobbery for a long time. Let's actually ask a different question.
Go for
Hold
it.
on, I have a different answer. Regulation.
Right. Hey. Let me ask this. Who's the oldest Phish fan here? Who's been going to the most shows?
Fall '96.
Fall '96. Okay. So
Can't beat that.
So, what was the weed scene like in Colorado?
Well, it was actually in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was going to college at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, and we just got in the car and drove 12 hours to go see this band. And I had my mind blown and my face melted, literally, because goo balls. Oh God! But it was an experience that I had been waiting for, and when I'd experienced it, I knew it was a place for me. And some of the best relationships I've ever formed in my life are because of this band. And this weekend's such a celebration of that. It feels like family.
So what about the first Colorado show? When was that?
My first Colorado Phish show? Boy, that wasn't until 2009 when they did 4 nights in a row at Red Rocks.
Okay,
Before
so
that,
that
it
was
was all on the East Coast and Midwest.
That was just at Medical. Medical had just passed here. So what was that weed show like?
I mean, it was the weed scene's always been good, but even before
People
the
like
medical scene hit,
smoking out in the audience.
Yeah, but everyone was kind of like, well, can I just walk into Red Rocks with pockets full of joints now that it's legal? And we all were kind of like, what's the interpretation of this law, right? And so I would just walk through the door with my cell phone and my weed products in my hand, like, here it is, not hiding anything. I'm walking in, right? Amendment 64, right? Here we go. But it's important that we pay attention to the regulation. Mm-hmm. I mean, the reason we're able to sit on this bus out here and consume legally is because of the regulation Colorado's created for this, and that's important. And if maybe we could come back to this later, Initiative 300, maybe we could talk about that later, not right now.
Yeah, absolutely, because I got a point I'm trying to make here. Mm-hmm. So people were smoking out. Everybody was excited about it, right?
Yes.
Who went to the show last night? When did you guys go to the show?
I was at the show last night for sure.
All right. So tell us about weed and the show in 2017.
Here's what I'd say about weed in the show in 2017. I think it's a little bit of a different game now.
Uh-huh.
And I think what makes it different is the regulation and the compliance, because the people know, because Colorado has put out really good public campaigns to let people know what's safe, how to consume properly, where it's safe to consume. I think that people have a much better idea of what they can and can't do. So what I think you see is a little bit more respect for the Phish family, right? People of all ages coming to this show, people of all different types and backgrounds, people who do or don't want to be involved in cannabis. Some people who just want to go to their Phish show and drink. Some people want to go to their Phish show and sit there and not have any cannabis around them. But I think what you see was a little bit more discretion. I don't think you see people just whipping out blunts and joints or bringing a bong in down their pants. I think what you see is a lot more of discretion, distillate vaporizer cartridges, little, edibles, topical patches and creams, things that don't affect your neighbor, things that don't have anything to do with people around you.
Now, they crack down on people smoking weed.
They do.
In the past, there was this rock and roll lifestyle where, okay, well, they're not smoking cigarettes, let them smoke weed, right? But now it's
not at a Phish show, man.
No
you
smoking,
can puff all over a Phish show. You always have been able to.
Right.
You get shook down for other reasons, not cannabis.
One thing I noticed in the lot that is totally different than the first Phish show I went to is in Colorado, no one is selling weed in lots anymore. That's a big thing.
No.
Yeah, and
people are coming to High West. People are picking up their favorite products and bringing it in.
That's a really great point, and that's something that I want to piggyback on too, right? Because prior to whether it was medical or we're talking recreational, right? There was a lot of weed being sold. That's not something that's really up for negotiation, right? Or up for debate. There was a lot of weed being sold, but no cut of that weed was going to infrastructure. No cut of that weed was going to picking up books, right? No cut of that weed was going to creating a better community and a better society for Coloradans or for natives at large or anyone who's living here. And that's what I think is one of the most compelling parts about what we're doing, right? We're generating real tax money through all these sales that are going on. Not to mention the fact
20,000 jobs
that you're looking at things going down, right? Being able to have for the opioid epidemic that we're in right now, being able to have safer alternatives to things than scoring pills or whatever it is. There's so many positive benefits that have come simply through the legalization and regulation of cannabis in Colorado, and I think that it's very difficult to try to put an argument together that says anything other than that.
Right. Yeah. There are a lot more vape pens at the show now.
Yeah.
right? Lots more. There's less smoking in general.
It's a huge
Yeah,
market.
for sure. I mean, I can tell you just on Thursday we sold over 200 of the Tweezer 94 limited edition run vaporizer cartridges.
Seriously?
And
Oh,
cannabis.
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, we sold
Well
200
done.
of them, man, just between Thursday and Friday. And today we've been selling a bunch more. We had to emergency make a few more over the weekend.
We did. We hustled, brother.
Yeah,
We got him here this
Thank
morning.
you. But that's that's the passion, that's the drive, that's the stuff that makes this work. And we're taking it off the streets. We're taking it out of Shakedown Street and out of the lot. And we're making it less scary. We're making it a regulated place that you can come. You know what the pricing is. You're greeted by a cannabis specialist who knows what they're talking about. They give you good education on the products that you're going to be consuming. They've consumed them in their own bodies, so they know exactly what they're telling you. And it just makes it a whole different ballgame. You know, the environment of cannabis at a Phish show and at these concerts and just in general in public spaces is becoming a much less taboo thing. And it's becoming something that everybody feels really comfortable with.
You know, and on our side, the regulation, it allows us to have our chemists to have fun. Like they get to have fun and legally,
And safely.
and
Right,
and
right.
safer.
Do good
Exactly,
R&D.
So safe.
Do
it's
good
safer.
R&D.
You know, the amount of regulation ensures that everyone that's working is safe, and they are still creating some wild stuff. You know,
Right.
It's only
Off
it
the
just
charts.
needs to be exponentially.
and every time we
going,
learn, you learn a
right.
little bit more, and so you know
Absolutely.
that's how we're making crazy products.
There you go. Hey, I think it's a perfect time to take a break. This is The Real Dirt with Chip Baker and
Mindful Millennial, Seth Marcus here. We'll be right back, guys.
These new episodes are made possible through some really awesome partnerships. We want to form long-term relationships with other entities who have similar goals. Thanks to Grower Soil, a line of soil and nutrients manufactured and developed right here in Colorado. Also, thanks to Cultivate Colorado, with 2 stores in the Denver metropolitan area. Cultivate has one of the largest selections of indoor horticultural equipment in the known universe. So stop by if you have any growing needs. Grow your dreams, cultivate your legend.
We are back. We're here at the High West lot.
Real Dirt.
We've got a bunch of people here. It's a fun circle. We're having a good conversation. But let's switch it up a little bit. We've been talking all about the benefits of the cannabis. Let's talk about some of the pitfalls, the 2 stone moments at the Phish shows. I think we've all had, maybe not at the Phish show, but we've all had those
TK,
moments.
do you have a stone moment at the
I
Phish show
can
you'd
see
like
it
to
already.
share?
I can see it through the glasses.
Did you just call this a turple? As opposed to a circle, a turple? Did I hear that?
Yeah, bro. This is a turple.
Okay, cool. I think I might be having one of those stone moments
It
right
may
now.
have been a
potentially.
circle, but now I'm going to roll with it. This is absolutely a
Nobody
turtle right
said
here.
There's a lot of terps in this
You know,
committee, right?
This is one of those moments when you're like, oh, I wish we were recording that. And we were, so we'll just back it up later. And say,
I love it. Sitting in our turple.
did we really say
The round turple. That's the
round
name of the
turple.
episode.
The Knights of the Round Turbo.
Knights of the Round Turple.
But yeah, to go to the point, yeah, I mean, you have one of those moments you're feeling a little too stoned, you know. I mean, that's like ultimately you should be at the show with some friends or something like that. Make sure that you're consuming in a safe in a way that you're not gonna overdo it. You know, obviously people will overdo it, and if you do overdo it, you should be there with
Hey,
friends and with
enjoy
some
the
CBD.
edibles, but
Yeah.
watch your consumption of milligrams.
Totally. You
here.
don't want to have a
Edibles are
bad
right.
time.
Start off slow, bro.
Don't eat edibles, people.
Right.
Or
Yeah,
if you are going to eat edibles, at High West Cannabis, we tell our cannabis specialists to recommend, no matter what size you
Low
are, no matter
dose.
what your metabolism's like, to take 5 to 10 milligrams at a
Yeah.
time, then wait about an hour and a half to
Yeah.
2 hours, because that's how long it's going to take for your liver to digest that THC and for that THC to get into your bloodstream and for you to be fully affected. So it does take like 2 hours. So if you're in the lot and you're munching on a brownie and it tastes really good, don't go for 3 more
Yeah,
until
right.
you've waited 2 hours.
Right, unless they're 5 milligram brownies.
Yeah, then maybe a
and
little-
then regulate
little bit.
yourself a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I like the high too when you eat like 5 or 10 milligrams and then eat an hour later another 5 or 10 milligrams.
you
Do
know
that
what,
like
the
all
way-
afternoon. It's great.
The way I
Right?
like to eat cannabis is actually I eat our cannabis oil.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, right.
Our high terpene extract.
Yeah, he's
is-
out there licking the bowl
Here,
and
you guys
shit.
wanna taste
Right?
some? You guys want to taste some? So
Yeah.
it's
I'll taste
fully
it.
activated, and it's super wide spectrum on cannabinoids, 6 activated cannabinoids, and If you pass it around, it
Looks turple.
It tastes. It is. It's going around the turple.
It's going around.
It's a
the
TK.
turn.
Pass it around the turp.
Yeah,
Yep.
So
totally.
what's
So
really
what was
cool?
our question?
Wow.
What was our question?
Too
at the
high at a
beginning?
fish lot.
What was it?
Well,
Too high. Okay,
we talked
so,
about too high at the
okay.
fish lot.
TK.
Come on.
Circled
I've
it
been
back
too high
around.
at a fish lot
So
before,
tell
for
us.
sure.
Tell us.
I wanna hear
I
some
want to hear your
stories.
story.
Yeah,
I want to hear
yeah.
your story of too
All right,
high.
so
at a fish lot.
it was Big Cypress. Is way down in the Indian Seminole Reservation in South Florida, and I
Year's
was
Eve,
too
1999.
high, guys. I was too
How
high,
much
and it was
how
like
much should I
100
take
degrees.
of
There's
this?
fucking alligators.
However much you
Alligator
want.
alley, No. So what did I do? I just got under the shade tent and like put wet towels on my face, and then I came to and then raged a 7-hour Phish concert from midnight to or
Awesome.
sunrise to
So this
midnight
is-
to sunrise.
This is just smoking joints.
Back then, yeah, we were smoking joints, dude.
Yeah.
We might have had a spoon pipe, but it was cool because you used to get the chronic herb on Phish lot.
Yeah.
Like that was before regulated cannabis. Where I went and where I really fell in love with cannabis was when I finally found the dank flower on Phish lot.
And now all the guys that were growing that stuff are now here like we're
Yeah,
growing it.
some of them are.
Now,
growing it
now
out
they're doing
west
it
and
legitimately
shit.
with licenses. I definitely have a story of a time that I was too high in the fish lot. It was actually July 4th in New York, Jones Beach. I was seeing Phish a couple years back, and when you're in New York or New Jersey or Pennsylvania, the areas that I'm from, your edibles don't come regulated and they don't come perfectly dosed by scientists like they do here in the Colorado market. They're just made in some guy's basement, and he doesn't even remember whether or not he threw the weed in yet as this ingredient. So I was at the lot. Someone had made some brownies. I bought one and ate one. About 3 or 4 songs in, I didn't know this at the time because I was a young Phish fan, but Phish played Avinu Malkeinu, which is a Hebrew song. I happened to grow up Jewish, and I had this crazy religious existential moment where I was way too high, and I'm like, what's happening? My worlds are colliding, the cannabis and the Judaism, and Phish, and all my friends in Jones Beach. So it was a really way too crazy. I had to leave for a few minutes. I was freaking out. I was like, are they speaking Hebrew right now? This is Phish.
I had to call the rabbi right quick.
Yeah, right. I was like, sir, is this what they said today? Yes, our Father, our King. Okay, I believe you. It was an interesting experience, but it did take a while for those edibles to wear off, and I enjoyed the rest of the show. But it can be scary, if you take too much and you don't know where you are, or you don't know how much you've consumed, you don't know your metabolism and your consumption rate. So be very careful to experiment and start slow.
So had no one filled you in that Jewish people smoke weed?
Oh, I come from a long line of Jewish people that smoked weed. I just didn't know that Phish spoke Hebrew while they smoked weed.
He was too high on Phish.
Got it.
Everything
got
came
it.
together at once.
Trace, you're awfully quiet over there. I feel like you got a story back there you don't really want to tell.
I am a little high.
How about STS being too high in STS9 lot?
Yeah.
Come on now.
So
Now we're talking Trace's language.
yeah, STS9. I do love it, but we are here to talk about Phish. I don't want to derail.
I'll take it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
I want to hear
Oh
it.
yeah, hey,
They'll allow it,
STS9,
they'll allow it.
just
Well,
next
what's the
week
story
here.
about?
We got 3 days of
so-
STS9. We're looking
well, I'm
forward
a-
to it here.
I'm a
Coming
little
up
younger
Red Rocks.
than Jim, and so when I got into the jam band scene,
He just
sorry,
called-
Jim, you're not that much older, but Phish was on hiatus, so
Right.
that's
Same
what we did.
A lot of people
STS9.
went and saw other music and still had cannabis be a big part of it. Like
Yeah.
cannabis is not just about its relationship with Phish is
Yeah.
similar across all kinds of genres of music. Country musicians are singing about cannabis now. Like that's amazing. Like
Yeah.
wow, it's because it truly helps people craft their art.
We've got
too stoned.
a Phish themed cannabis Ascend product here. Green Dot did STS9 collab.
Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're just starting to
Artifact.
see cannabis
Artifact.
come more into popular culture. And I think what you're seeing is a lot of these artist collaborations are a lot of the melding of two different communities, like this cannabis community and this Phish community, or just the cannabis community and the live music community in general. Or you can even go as far as saying like any mind-altering substances and the music community are starting to come together in a more public light that seems to be making headway, and a lot of people are catching on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're even making bad TV shows about weed now.
Yeah,
really terrible
man.
ones.
Gosh,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
watching.
Let's not even
Jeez.
mention the bad ones out right now. Okay.
Goodness.
Chip Baker, you got a too high at the concert story?
I have many too highs at the concert, but my first Phish show, I was absolutely too high, and this is where we should bleep it out in the editing, but it wasn't on weed.
This is the unedited live version.
Give us the real.
I was too high, and I kept
Real
thinking
dirt now.
my friends were too close to me. So I kept moving further away from them, and they kept moving closer to me. And then they got this paranoid moment, like, why the fuck are they wanting to be next to me? Like,
I call
they're
that
all on
social
me.
experiments.
Right. So I stepped a little further away, and I started to get really hot and had to walk out into the hallway and cool myself off a little bit. And at that time, there was still some overlay between the Grateful Dead spinners. Right,
Oh, watch
so there
out
were
for the
still
spinners.
some spinners like lurking around
Yeah.
the world, and I've seen them recently too. But like there was some in the hallway, and I was like, "Oh, okay, spinners!" Don't get caught up in that shit. But that, and then I went back. My friends, they asked me if I was okay. I told them yes.
No.
Right.
No.
Seth, have you had
Right.
any that have been kind of wild?
First Phish show, June 24th, 2004.
Oh, yeah.
Deer Creek.
I was at that show.
You were?
Oh, yeah.
Tube,
That home run.
Tube second set opener changed my world. Really did change my whole
Dance party.
perspective on music.
So
The
good.
best,
Sexy music.
the best glow stick war I've ever seen. I ate a brownie. I did not have overly
Unregulated brownie.
It was an unregulated brownie. I'll admit it.
Yeah, I know.
But-
Hey,
Brownie.
But I wasn't too blasted. Which is surprising because I'm usually the guy who's always too blasted.
yeah, no doubt.
But that was an unbelievable experience. However, the story that comes to mind for me was not Phish, but a Pretty Lights show. It was my birthday, and my friend had made me a huge batch of homemade edible cookies, and he brought them to me, and we were at this pre-party, and he's like, "You got to have one right now." And I was like, "Man, I love you. I'm gonna eat these later, but right now." No fucking way. I'm trying to party. I'm trying to like go out and do this. And there were these cute girls right next to us, and they were, like, this dude's a wuss, They all ate like two right there. Fast forward 60 minutes or something like that. We're at the concert. These girls are in the back row asleep. Right as the set kicks in, I'm like, I don't regret my decision at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why you shouldn't eat edibles. Or
You
too
just have to regulate.
I think I took a selfie with.
regulate.
Something too.
Passedoutwooks.com.
This is one of my favorite subjects because for years I heard people with their Sensimilia dreams of going to the lot and selling brownies. They're like, oh man, I got all this trim and I'm going to turn it into ganja butter, and I got ganja goo balls, ganja brownies, ganja rice cakes, ganja cookies, right? And we're going to go sell them at the lot. We're going to come back. We're going to be like, But it spawned a lot of young entrepreneurs, I believe, selling ganja food at the Phish lot. It was either their first successful or really like kicking the ass on how marketing and guerrilla marketing and freeform
Have you ever
like that.
Have you ever read the book Everything I Know About Business I Learned from the Grateful Dead?
I've
never
seen
even
the
heard of that
title.
book,
I've
but I
seen
love
the
it.
title. I should pick
You
that
guys should
one
read the book.
All right, there's the Real Dirt on book review today. We're gonna have a book review.
circle.
Right.
Everything I Know About Business is from the Grateful Dead.
Real Dirt Book Club. Real Dirt Book Club.
Yeah.
Well, this is the round turple.
Let's get back into the turbo.
Let's bring this turtle back together.
Fire up some turps over here?
Yeah. So we got some cool stuff going on too, man. We're actually right now at Harmony in the process of launching our first cartridge line as well. So really excited about these. I brought a few with me as well. I got some of our Gorilla Glue 4, some of our Lemon G, and then some bubble gum as well. And so these guys
And papaya.
Oh goodness. Yeah, we also
We are
have
not in
papaya,
short supply
and I'm
in
just
Athens
dropping
in
them
this
all
bus
over the
right
place.
now.
Here.
But so we're really stoked to be getting these out there. We're trying to. So we our process is a little bit different than the process that Jim and the Ascend boys use over there. So we use hydrocarbon extraction process, and essentially. We're taking our plants that we grow in our garden. We are vertically integrated with our live products. We are cutting those plants down. We are never hitting these guys with scissors. They're never getting exposed to metal, right? We're just stripping down the fan leaves, pulling the buds off there, and then putting those right in the freezer to be tested, and then immediately to go into our tubes. So,
Dude, this is delicious.
thanks, man.
This is incredible.
We're really proud of these, and we're really excited to be starting to get them to market now. We're again just really into making as high quality products as we possibly can, and really trying to showcase just what the cannabis plant is able to produce on its own accord, and nothing but that. So that's really what our focus is, and we have very rigorous quality controls, and this has met our quality standards, and we're really excited to
Are you involved in
get
the,
people excited about
QC
it.
part of that
Yeah.
quality standards standards part of that?
I beg your pardon?
Are you involved in the quality standards part of that?
A little bit. I mean,
I think GK may lead up that division.
team here.
I'm not sure.
We also just got our
QCTK.
medical license, so now we get to really actually start helping people. Get into that aspect. Now, there is a huge difference between recreational and medical, and
Vaping cannabis is actually a tremendous way to get your medicine.
Absolutely.
It has greater bioavailability. It's vapor, so you're not putting any.
I love this.
You're not smoking. You're not combusting. And you know what's cool? And I want to say, cheers to Harmony. Congrats on the launch of this product. It is really tasty.
Man,
Oh
They're
yeah,
gonna do
they've
really
got
well
a
with it.
great,
And
great technology in the cartridge. The
Yeah, the actual
it looks like
mouthpiece
it's
is
a
beautiful.
Great
Thank you.
glass piece. It's all glass and metal. It doesn't taste like there's any foreign or weird objects in there.
And that's our
Mr.
goal.
Pretty Bird.
Yeah.
Unidentified flying,
yeah,
whatever's
no,
in your
it
oil.
tastes just like the oil.
it-
And is this how they come with this much in it? Is this?
So this is a 250 mil, and we've been working on this one for from an event we had last night and then into this morning. So the it'll actually, when you would get it, it would be filled up a little bit higher than where
I think
that line
TK
is
took
right
that out
there.
for a few spins before he gave it to you.
Yeah, right.
He drained the oil a little bit.
It's but they're really fun. And our whole team too has just put so much work into trying to get these guys put together. From our entire grow squad, just really kicking ass in the garden. Day to day, those guys are just busting their asses to make sure that everything's growing as well as they possibly can. All the way through to our lab guys, and then all the way down to our packaging guys. These things are a pain in the ass to package. So huge shout out to our whole packaging team. Just really working overtime to make sure to get these things done on top of our standard box and triple branded dram packaging as well.
Yeah,
So
they're all awesome packages. Man, the interesting thing with the vape pens with me is it's this marketable thing. And like we were talking about back in the day,
And it's growing so fast.
Time travel here. Like people marketed weed differently on the lot, so to speak, right?
They did.
Like
was
do you
secret
remember?
language.
Yeah, it was a secret language. Like how was it sold and what names were it
Right.
sold under?
Yeah, so finding good herb on lots started with code name, right? So the guys you'd find Shakedown, right, or Shakedown Street is where the goods are peddled, right?
Shakedown
All kinds
Street
of
is
peddles.
where all of the dark products are peddled on the side street near the show.
So honestly, I'd look for a heady guy who wasn't like a dirty wook.
Hold on, let's define heady.
Heady guy.
Right,
He had nice shoes on and a nice backpack.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Possibly dreadlock.
Let's do a
dreadlocks, definitely high.
turple vocab
Right. Okay,
breakdown
here go
right
the
there,
turtle
please.
vocab breakdown. Right. It was
Yes.
like headies. You'd make eye contact with the guy and be like headies, nugs, right? Like, what? And then you'd be like,
Are you asking or are you selling?
right. Exactly. No, I was never selling. I was always on the terp hunt. I was on terp quest. Like, find that fire weed on Phish lot.
And if you're looking for the top quality product, you're looking for those headies, right? You're looking for the fire. You're looking for your nugs. Then, if you wanted the cheap stuff, you may be able to find mids. If you find a less heady-looking gentleman, or you can go for the beasters.
And
No more beasters,
you
man.
could. This was like
Not here.
you could buy amounts in dollars or amounts in weights. How did it work? Was it like
You're going
eighths
G
or
slice
grams?
zip, baby. G
There's
slice
eighths or
zip.
grams. It was like $50 eights, right? Like
Yeah, and
$60 eights.
$60 eights for the
$60
for the headies, for the big
all right,
pulls. Like,
all right.
Yeah, you can do much better coming into High West
And if you-
Cannabis.
if you were
I think.
a dick,
Even with our
This is
23.5% tax.
This is time travel speak here. Time
Yeah,
travel
that's true.
speak.
That's
I
true.
love going
Right.
back in lot like
Right.
mid 90s, late 90s. Like that, I was an impressionable young
Right.
lad at that age,
Right.
and Phish opened my eyes to a whole different world. And honestly, it's part of the reason I moved to Colorado is because I knew Phish would be here in Slay every year when they were playing.
So, what were the names? What kind of names of weed?
Favorite names.
Favorite
found on
names
the
of
Phish
favorite
lot.
strains.
Bubblegum, man,
Strains.
bubblegum was strong
Bubblegum?
on Phish lot back in the day.
Strain number 1, bubblegum.
Yeah, a lot of different Kushes. If you looked at a
Kushes.
sour Kush, maybe a Bubba Kush, the Kushes tend to go really well on the lot.
Yeah.
Kush terps.
Kush. All right.
Is this
Strawberry cough.
Shout out
First
to
time I heard-
Colorado strain.
Yeah, the first time I ever heard of it was years ago when I came out here because I love the place, and I just remember thinking I knew the strain name. That was the first strain name I knew, and also It sounded funny. It's like, of course. It sounded funny.
It's the first strain I ever grew.
Somebody at this round Turple would know what is the story surrounding the sour diesel OG bag at the lot. It was a dead lot though, right? But isn't there a legend? I mean, does anybody know this story?
I don't know the story, but now you got me curious.
Chip, are you
Google it.
familiar?
Google it.
Something like the original
a guy
seeds for Kim.
like had some weed and he sold it at the Phish show and it was sour diesel. I heard that story.
They found the seeds. Yeah.
No, you know what?
you.
The seed trade. The seed trade was large. It was a Silk Road on Grateful Dead tour and Phish tour
Right.
and Allman Brothers tour and all
Hope
these
that there
great
was a seed
bands.
in the sack.
And it's how
Right.
like strains got from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would follow the band.
And
Yep.
and that's kind of I mean with like the sort of I think that out here in Colorado our concentrate game is just spectacular right now. Our concentrate game is really up there with the is world class stuff going on. And that said, the California, their genetics and their flower out there has always just been so top notch. They have such a long standing history of that. And then when you get this kind of sort of pre legalization and stuff, you had this sort of intermingling of flavors that were coming out of California, and then the what people were messing around with here is through lot culture and what have you, and then producing. When you can have that interplay of those killer strains, some of which particularly are geared towards making killer concentrates, it results in really spectacular terp availability for consumers, I suppose.
So now, fast forward, people come to Colorado and other legal states and they buy their cannabis and then they go to the show. They buy their cannabis from a dispensary like High
Come to
West,
High West.
and
Grab
then they
some
go
Tweezer
to the
94.
show.
That's right.
They can get their
And some lemon glue.
You enjoy my terps.
name brand weed that it's leased at High West Cannabis is definitely legitimate of what it says it is, and you might not have gotten that back in the lot on the days. They might have tried to sell you
they could
headies
just kind
for
of call it any name
mids.
too. They could call
Right.
it like Jerry Garcia's favorite blue kush, and like
Right.
maybe it's not. Maybe
this is Jerry
it
Garcia's
isn't.
favorite blue
But
kush. I like
here,
that
at least
name.
in the Colorado market, you're getting what you pay for, because that plant is being tracked from seed to sale. So as soon as it's identified as a seed and comes in as a seed, it's tracked all the way through a government system that lets you know that it's exactly the product that you're getting out of the harvest, out of the grow. And there's just a little bit more confidence in what we have going on in this market than the lot market per se.
I love that. I love knowing what products I'm picking up and how they're gonna affect me.
And also,
There's still
Game
scammers
changer.
out there, but like you're at least under a regulated rule of scamming.
And also, I mean, it's from an economic standpoint alone, right? We're employing people. We're paying taxes. We're paying a lot of taxes. We're creating jobs. We're doing a lot of really, really cool things out here. And it's I don't know the exact numbers, but just the industry
Billions
itself.
of dollars.
The industry itself is just so cool, and it's great too because we're the people who I've been smoking pot with my whole life. These aren't criminals. These aren't people that they get painted as by the way that that policy was set up and still remains set up in a lot of other places. These are people who are just trying to smoke a joint. It's the same type of person who's trying to drink a beer, and I think that it's so cross cultural as well because it's agrarian, right? We're actually getting our hands dirty. We're digging around. That's part of the whole mix.
It's a great word.
Agrarian.
It's
Agrarian.
this is
Can
we get a definition, please?
That's a
Google
great,
that one too.
that's a great time to start a break right here on agrarian. We'll be back with a definition.
Everyone look up agrarian.
This is Chip from the Real Dirt, Seth from Mindful Millennial.
Denver Normal is an organization that advocates for the rights of every marijuana consumer in the Mile High City, while also creating long-lasting partnerships with local businesses that share our values, a deep love for the community, the cannabis plant, and a commitment to educate our audiences. Thanks, Denver Normal.
Yeah, this is the Real Dirt with Chip Baker.
Yeah.
Mindful Millennial, Seth Marcus.
Here we are. We're back, and now things are really flowing. I was
about to
gonna
get flowing.
I was gonna give Adam a chance to to promote this this event real quick, but his hands
He's
his hands
dabbing
are full.
some.
Yeah.
He's dabbing some high terpene extract that the fans actually named on a Facebook poll that we did. You enjoy my terps,
You
which
enjoy
I
my
think
terps.
is so clever because
Boy,
one
man.
of
Enjoy my
Phish's
terps.
greatest
I
songs
did just
is "You Enjoy
those
Myself."
terps, Jim. Thank you for
enjoyed
those
them?
terps. Yeah, dude. And you guys can pick up these distillate droppers or the Tweezer
You
94
enjoy my
cartridges, the limited
terps?
edition run at High West. It's 10625 East 51st Avenue in Denver. It's 51st in Havana. It's like a mile away from Dick's. So
Right
come
off
on
the
down.
70.
Yeah, we even have a
Super
shuttle running
convenient.
all day. Look for high-end transportation, and they'll take you down here. But
You can
get right
smoke
off
out
70 at Havana,
on the
and you'll be
bus.
at the spot to pick up all the limited edition run.
You heard it.
Limited edition Phish run.
There is so
cannabis
much
oil.
you
swag
go.
here too. You guys get up here. There's plenty to go around.
Oh yeah, man. So
We're getting towards the end of this round
this has been a
turple.
great turple
I love
later.
the sound of a blowtorch in the
This is a
background.
great turple
Nice,
later.
Can you put the
nice
torch a little closer to the
agrarian
microphone?
turple.
This is an
Agrarian turple.
turpotato. Oh, okay. So we need our definition now that we're back from break.
No, we
What
need it. We need
it's
it on.
like-
We need it on the air.
Okay, I got you. So TK described our industry as agrarian, which I think was quite appropriate. Agrarian, as an adjective, is defined as relating to cultivated land or the cultivation of land, which is pretty close to what we're doing here. I mean, we are
Well,
cultivating
except
land.
there's no land inside.
Yeah, there's some soil and some dirt and some plants, and we're
Soil,
cultivating
yeah.
for sure.
Cultivation.
So it's agrarian.
Cultivars in there.
Let's call it. It's agrarian, guys.
I think you
This
got
is
like
industrial farming.
9 out
It's
of 10.
absolutely agrarian.
Yeah.
How are those
indoor
terps,
agrarian.
TK?
Those terps are absolutely delightful, Jim.
What were you tasting? What terps could you pick out?
I could taste your terps.
Right. So this
All
was
right.
some,
All right, let's get this
let's
back
get
on
back
topic here. All right.
So, guys, we're getting towards the end of this whole thing. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
loving the
Oh,
guests
thank
here.
you, guys.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Closing question: top Phish moment or top music moment? Go for it. We'll start with. Actually, we're not gonna start with Jim because I know Jim's already got one
Yeah,
way
let's
loaded up.
let's go.
over to
Do it,
Trace.
Top Phish moment was in a show in Raleigh in 2010, and there was just this moment. I think Yem was playing, and it was just one of those explosive moments, and just so much gratitude. Where a joygasm. It was like a joygasm.
I had 2 last night.
And it was just one of those most memorable things in my life. I can't even. There's no words to describe it.
It's one of the best parts about music.
Yeah.
You can't really put your
It's
finger
a feeling.
on it. You
It's a
can't-
feeling.
You can't write it out, but everyone who's been there knows it.
Totally.
Hit me with music.
I'm gonna take TK to Phish tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah?
And he's gonna be singing the same tune here pretty
Someone's got
soon.
a Sunday for
Do a
TK.
little turple.
We all need a Sunday for TK. Let's convert.
Well,
him.
gosh, man, probably one of my favorite music moments is probably one of my. So my first Red Rock show, it was Yonder, and so I went to the show and was just in the perfect state of mind for it, and I ended up like beginning and finishing 2 like relatively meaningful relationships like through the course
one
of the
show?
Yeah, it was pretty wild. It's interesting.
Damn, you're pretty quick,
No,
dude.
but then also
read
there
a
was
lot
like
into that.
No.
there was like this gorgeous like big like lightning storm that was very far off in the distance that was just kind of like blowing my mind through the whole thing of it, that seemed to sync up with the music really nicely. It was a very very nice experience. I loved it.
Right on, Mr. Browse.
I have a lot of really good favorite concert moments, but if I have to go with my favorite Phish, especially at Dick's, it would have to be September 6th, 2015, the Thank You Encore show. That whole show just really did it for me, man. It was one of my favorites out here being in Colorado. I'd only been out here a few years. We got Tweezer, we got Silent in the Morning at the end, and then they closed it out with that beautiful Thank You Encore, and it was
Harpua.
and I mean, you get Harpua in the middle of that, NO2, like everything that happened, Your Pet Cat, just that whole progression through Thank You to end out that summer was a really, really impactful way for me to dive a lot deeper into my Phish experience.
Right on.
What's cool
Thank you.
about that is that Phish has in Colorado and at Dick's a really unique tradition. For every year since 2012, with the exception of last year, they have played a very cool set list gag. And my favorite Phish Dick's and Phish Colorado moment was in summer 2012 when the set list is spelled "fuck your face, the first letter of each
Yes.
song, which was a very old, obscure kind of fan requested song that hadn't been played since like the 80s. And then the set list spelled this out, and the fans were figuring it out as the night went along and trying to like solve the puzzle of what are they spelling. Took over the 20,000 people in the stadium were
Bunch of
tuned into
motherfuckers
it.
high on acid. They're like, wait a second. This spells something.
This is all by design. Fish is
What are
very
they telling
intelligent.
us? No, and that's what they did, as Adam was saying. They spelled "thank you" in the encore well past midnight on a Sunday in 2015, and that was another really special. Like it was like church. It was special.
What was the other one? Was the S show? Yeah,
That was the first
Oh,
one.
yes, yeah.
In
the
11.
S show, and then spell something, right? Spelled backwards.
That's right. Spelled
And-
backwards.
And then I think it wasn't much of a gag, but I think they purposely did cross-eyed and painless with the still waiting
there were so many
kind of-
clues.
forever.
to keep hinting that
Forever.
we may or
that
may
was
not
the
have a
longest
gag.
still waiting
Yeah.
ever. I mean, you even heard Phish fans coming out into the lot that night, just still singing, still waiting, just constantly out into the
They're
lot.
so creative.
It was
It's
wild.
amazing.
So what about you, Seth? What about you?
I'll make mine short. 2009, I was in college. We talked about it. I think we may have been off the air, but Trace and I it sounds like we're around the same age because when I was
32.
when I was in school, Phish was on hiatus when I was in college, and which was probably for the best because I probably would have dropped out and maybe toured around and not been where I am right now. But 2009, they announced that they were coming back. I went to Clemson, and it was a game day, and we, while everybody else was tailgating, I was in the computer lab with 20 computers open, waiting for those Hampton shows to come on. As soon as the clock struck 10 or something, I clicked every single one of them. Got
Furiously.
2 tickets to the first night back of
Wow.
3.0.
Wow.
And so my top
The golden
moment is
ticket.
being with my best friend and in Hampton Coliseum when they played Fluffhead for the first time.
Oh, my goodness.
Whoever.
It still gives me
Yeah.
goosebumps. Literally, like
there it
the
is.
hair just stood up on my arms.
Someone get a
That was
picture
a
of that.
moment. Just one.
Chip Baker, closing them out. Favorite music or Phish moment?
I'm going to throw this because we're in context. Fish moment. Okay, so it was 1997, 6, one of those years.
20 years ago.
Great years.
Great years.
20 years
This
ago.
was Atlanta, right? And my friend Jen Crocker well, maybe I shouldn't say her last name. Nah, she's only like a politician now in Santa Rosa. It's cool. So she takes me to the show, and Jen had all this great Humboldt weed. And this was back when we were in Georgia. We just got like brick weed, and Jen had this like perfect looking weed that her friend sent her, so it wasn't like so packed or bricked out. Like it was like great. And she was the first person to smoke me out really West Coast style, which was like large joint after large joint after large joint after large joint. Jen smokes me out the whole show. Me and this dude Mike Cox and Jen, the three of us were there, and we were leaving, and I thought to myself, I'm moving to fucking Humboldt.
Heady place.
And me and my buddy got in the car like 2 or 3 weeks later, drove to Colorado, and then drove to Humboldt, and that was like primo time to be there, and had moved there within 6 months.
That's a great moment.
Yeah.
man.
Phish changes lives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Phish
totally.
does change lives. And actually,
And you
I heard
just
that
gotta
they're
do
doing
it.
the live webcast Sunday. So if you're at home and you're listening to this and you can't make it out to Dick's for any of the shows, you can't magically find a ticket in the lot, or if you have one for TK for Sunday, let us know. Then go sit on your couch and watch. They're going to be live streaming the event for free. So Phish.net or Phish.com.
TK will be there if we can't get him tickets.
Guys, just
We'll be at
a
Jim's
quick
house.
public service announcement. Don't get in a fight in the front row.
Yeah, don't do that.
because now
No,
with the internet,
absolutely
everyone
not.
can see that, and you look like an asshole.
Actually, hey man, if you're gonna brawl, make sure everyone can see you all over the world. Take your shirt off, swing your fists around wildly.
Do it right.
Do it fucking right. Go down. Go down.
But maybe not at a Phish show.
It's not the Phish show.
Yeah,
Why don't you just do
know,
some
that's bad
dabs?
advice.
That
Why don't you
Don't
do
do
some
that.
dabs
That's
and
bad
not
advice.
fight?
I
How's that
wasn't
sound?
suggesting you
I have
do
a great
that.
idea.
Dierks Bentley is
I
next
can't
weekend,
be
I
held
believe.
liable for it.
Whoops, some ass at Dierks Bentley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I think that's a great place to wrap it up.
Damn, this has been an awesome episode
Awesome
of The
peeps.
Real Dirt.
Hey, thanks for
Thank you, guys.
being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting us.
Totally.
Yeah, thanks for
totally
having us,
fun.
guys.
Totally. Thank
yeah,
you.
we're going to get down to smoking some real weed. So
Yeah.
come down here at High West Cannabis.
Yeah.
We got about 40 flavors or something on the table here. We're fixing to start puffing out. So let's go.
Right on. We got Jim Biviano, Ascend, Adam Browse, High West. the legendary TK,
TK.
He is a legend.
and Trace Reddick from Harmony.
And Trace Reddick, fellow
Chip Baker.
STS9 fan.
It's been great co-hosting with
I'm a
you,
Phish
man.
fan
The
too.
Real Dirt. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's one last time. Let's give it up for all of our sponsors. Man.
All the
we got so many booths out here. So many awesome people.
Get out there.
It's a great
Yeah.
event. It's
Come
hot
kick
out
it.
here.
Terps up in the bus, guys. It's Terps up.
Terps up
time.
indeed.
Terps up.
Terp time on the bus.
You can be part of the Turple. You can get down on
can
the
be
round
Turple.
Turple.
You too.
We will knight you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So who do we got here, man? Let's first thank Adam here with High West Cannabis,
Adam.
without
Thank
this
you.
would
Cheers.
have
Thank you,
not
Adam.
been possible. Thank
dude
you
has been
so
working.
much.
Oh, yeah.
Another key member here is High End Transportation. Holy, this is an
Our venue
awesome
for
Thank
the
you
day.
guys.
RV venue. That's a great one.
Absolutely. We got Ascend Cannabis, Cannabis Maximus out there, my buddies. Colorado Supply Co. Take it away, Chip.
Colorado
CSC.
Cannabis Company, Denver Dab Company, Green Dot Labs, my favorite, Dave over there. Ow! Harmony Extracts, my new favorite, because they're right here.
In a second, they'll really be your favorite.
Stillwater brands.
The Growing Kitchen. We got Zoots out there, Cincy
Yeah.
Magazine, Denver Custom Packaging,
Oh, food truck.
food trucks out there. Who we
Angry
got?
Ohana.
It's just food. I can't really.
Hangry
Can't wait to get my hands on
That
it.
food truck is just nonsense
So
too.
good.
The food coming out of there is just remarkable.
Service. I Heart Jane.
You know that
And
really is
then-
awesome.
and-
I heard Jane. It
Oh, yeah.
makes things great.
Oh yeah,
And
totally.
great people running
Awesome.
that
company,
and,
too.
and
Really
we also
friendly,
have
really
a
passionate.
Heads Threads jewelry, clothing
Sweet wire wraps.
stuff. Real Dirt,
Very
Chip
cool
Baker.
wire wraps.
And check out the Mindful Millennial podcast. I'm Seth Marcus. You can find us both on iTunes. And thank you guys
let's all
so
call it
much.
out.
Hell yeah.
RealDirt.com.
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 Are we calling out the realdirt.com every time, or are we going to call out High West Cannabis 10625 East 51st?
Call out what you call out.
Denver, Colorado.
AscendCannabis.co.
TheMindMill.com.
Hummingbird Harmony Extracts, baby.
That's it.
Check it out, guys.
Stay high.
Peace.